You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. You are welcome to today's FSWG live stream. My name is Glory Elijah. Okay, I think this is not enough on the note. Okay, I think this is much better. Okay, so you're welcome back to our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. My name is Glory Elijah, as you already know. And this is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the tea, yes. And there's a lot of tea to be spilled today, guys. I cannot wait. I am super excited. And there's actually someone I'm actually expecting, and I hope that person comes through today. But just as you must have seen from the title of this live stream today, the conversation is going to be all about the ongoing Big Brother Mzansi season 3. Yes. But before we continue with the conversation, before we even start, let's do the needful. I need to give respect and honor to whom honor is due. I mean, you all, my amazing family, you took out time to join today's conversation off the bulk of your busy schedules. So the right thing is to say hello to all of you. So here I'm seeing Njeza. Hi, you're here. Yes, I see you. Thanks for coming through. There's Gina. Hi, Gina. There's Elizabeth. There's Kay. There's Cowley. You're welcome. There's Brewis. Hi. Fahiz. Hi. You're welcome to today's live stream. Oh, there's Echo. Yeah, there's Echo. There's Echo. But let's just continue anyways. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Pius. I am the T. Nice. Oh my God. Am I seeing Luambu? Hi! Luambu! Oh my God! My friend is back. Oh my God. I am so excited. Luambu, you totally need to join this virtual conversation today when I share the link. Please. I have missed you so much on this channel. Oh my God. I'm super excited. Okay, so there's Adetola. Hi, Adetola. Mickey. What's up, Mickey? What's up, Mickey? Abena Adepa. Hi. Yes, Njeza, you are highly welcome. Okay. Now, as I said before, you're all welcome to today's live stream. Frankly, guys, let me look for a better position to sit so that we can have this conversation properly. Guys, for real, I've been following up on Bbmzansi season 3, and there's a whole lot. I did several videos before the show actually started talking about culture shock experience for most Nigerians that are going to follow the show. And Lord have mercy, I personally have been experiencing multiple bouts of culture shock experience virtually, guys. Like, I do not even have to be in the mansion to experience the things I'm experiencing. I'm seeing different things. I'm hearing different things. I'm listening to conversations that are so different, guys. Everything is just so diverse. And I'm enjoying the process. For me, at this point, it's not just about watching a reality TV show. It's about a shared cultural experience. And I just feel like I'm getting full, because the more I see this housemate in the elements, the more I feel like I'm soaking up, different things from South Africa. And Lord, it is a lot to contain. So on this live stream today, I will be talking about, let's see, I'll be talking about some of the things that I have observed from the show so far. Yeah, there's a lot that has been going on aside the drama. But overall, there's a whole lot of difference that I have seen, and I feel like we should actually talk about those before we proceed into the drama. This is just week 1. Week 1 is not even over. I think week 1 of the season should be over by tomorrow. Yeah, should be over by tomorrow. But so far, so good, guys. A lot of things have been happening on that show. Let me see. Thank you so much, Luambo. Okay, guys. Now, the first thing that I noticed from the show is the selection of the housemates, guys. The selection of the housemates, it's completely different. I was watching the launch show. I was watching the introduction of the housemates, and one question that kept on coming to mind was, will we ever have such a diverse selection of housemates for Big Brother Nigeria? I asked myself that question and I answered myself that question that I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, guys. We're talking about individuals that are so different, like not your regular kind of individuals, not the usual selection that you would see in a show like Big Brother Naija, for instance. So in this season of Big Brother and Mzansi, we have of course male females, and then we also have someone that identifies as a gender non-conformist. That's Sister Mara. Now, aside Sister Mara, we also have someone called a Sangoma. Yeah, we've been having conversations about this person all week in all the videos that I've been doing about a Sangoma, and I've gotten different definitions of who a Sangoma is, different explanations. And the person I'm inviting on this live stream, hopefully that person comes through so that person can actually shed more light on who a Sangoma is in the South African context. So there's a Sangoma who is more of a spiritual bridge between the living and the ancestral world. So it's like someone that's a go-between, yeah, a go-between. Okay, that's better. So this is like a go-between, yeah, the living world and the ancestral beings. What's going on with my network? Okay. 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 All right. Sorry about that, guys. My network is just acting funny. Now, aside that, we also have one housemate who is an adult content creator. Guys, now the interesting thing about this particular housemate, that's Terry, is when she introduced herself as such, I felt like, okay, she's just who she is. But then videos of what she does leaked on the internet, and I stumbled on one of those videos. Like someone actually sent one of those videos to me. I saw the video and I'm like, wow, okay. This person is literally an adult entertainer, period. Yeah, I don't want to use the word that people think is derogatory to addressing people like that, but that is who she is. And who else do we have? Oh, we have a bisexual, but she left the show, I think 3 days ago. That's QV. But besides that, guys, the selection of the housemates, it's so diverse. And I've listened to the housemates conversation over time, and it occurred to me that, okay, the organizers of the show, they're actually trying to pass on a message to the viewers that the theme of the season, aside the bikini bikini that we see here and there, the theme of the season simply boils down to the message of acceptance, guys. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's the message of acceptance. And you can see it, you can see what the organizers are trying to say when you see how housemates like Terry, what's her name, Mpho, and Sister Mara are struggling so hard to fit into the crowd of the 18 turned 17 housemates. Yeah. Now, thankfully for Terry, for a housemate like Terry, Terry is full in her own self, like she's complete in her own self. She does not really have any sort of regrets for what she's doing. She's proud of her craft. And funny enough, I was having a conversation with someone, and the person told me that in South Africa, Terry's craft, you know, being an adult content creator, is legal in South Africa. And they are registered, they also pay taxes. Those of you who are based in South Africa, feel free to, you know, contribute to this. Let me know if it is true or not. Okay. Let me see. So that is what I learned. Yeah, that Terry's craft is actually recognized by the government of South Africa. So that is probably why she's not really, you know, scared or ashamed of what she does. Like she's so confident in what she does. The reverse would definitely be the case if she were Nigerian and based in Nigeria. Now, moving on, guys, moving on. Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Hold on, guys. Oh, yeah. So someone just said that all the personalities represented are legal. Yes, fine. Okay. So as I was saying, for Terry, Terry is already complete. Like she has already found her place in the house. But then a housemate like Mpho actually struggled a whole lot because, of course, there's this stereotype out there about people that are sangomas like her. There's already that stereotype about sangomas in the society, according to how she put it, right? And coming into the house, she already came with that, preconception that, oh, she will not be accepted. And so she struggled a bit for the first few days and thinking that, oh, maybe the housemaid saw her in a certain light. It was only just yesterday evening, or should I say in the middle of the night, that she finally cleared the air with the rest of the female housemates whom she felt a certain kind of way about her because of her calling, because of her craft as a sangoma. And then there's Sister Mara. Now, Sister Mara's case is quite different and interesting. So when the guys are having their men's conference, Sister Tamara cannot fit in. When some of the females are, separated in different places having their conversations, Sister Tamara cannot fit in as well. Now, the only person that Sister Tamara has found solace in speaking to, in hanging around with, is Terry. Why? Because both of them, they have a lot of things in common. Sister Mara, that's the gay guy, has actually disclosed about the many things that he has experimented with over time in his journey into self-discovery. He has disclosed that he has been into exhibition. He's an exhibitionist. Yeah, he has been into voyeurism. He has been into BDSM. He has been into different types of sexual expressions that the world actually frowns at to some extent. But just think a few days ago, he started settling down. He has now found his place. And the rest of the housemates, I mean, nobody is basically frowning at any of those other housemates about who they are or what they stand for. So I don't know if it's the spirit of the party that's coming up tonight, but everybody is just getting relaxed and I think a bit more comfortable about who they truly are and are representing their, their groups respectfully. Anyways, now moving on from the selection of the housemates, guys, let's talk about the traditional African spirituality. Guys, I basically had to single this one out because this is where I really need you guys as South Africans to come in, chip in properly. So I've been fascinated. I have been deeply fascinated by the full expression of spirituality as portrayed by Mpho and Dinky. Now, guys, these two women have been so free, like freely talking about how there is a calling for someone to be connected with the ancestors in their families. For instance, for Dinky now, she had the calling, and in fact, in her family, everybody has been rejecting the calling, and then it got to her turn, and then that spirit has been in her, following her, sometimes giving her mood swings, basically turning her into a bipolar individual. One minute she's happy, the next minute she's angry, she's lashing out, she's being rude, the next minute she's being all sweet. So that spirit, however she put it, is literally controlling her life. And so she came to Big Brother Mzansi to use the platform to kind of test herself and to tell herself that, oh, yes, she can actually live this life that she wants. And then Mpho, on the other hand, says that society has actually discriminated against her for far too long. People frown on what she does. People call her a witch because they feel okay, my network is very busy acting up today. So according to her, people call her a witch for different reasons, just because she's a sad woman. And so she came on the show because she wants to prove something. She wants to make a point that she has a dual life. She is Mpho, the beautiful woman, and she's also the sangoma. So for her, that is how she can actually prove herself, by showing the world that she's a normal human being, but she's also like she's two different persons living a normal life. I don't know if that actually makes sense. Now, guys, I thought about it. So, okay, fine. If this was BB Niger, how would the viewers take all of this information? Are the viewers ready? Like, are they open enough to accept such information? Because, guys, to be frank with you, in as much as I think that I am exposed to some extent, when these two women are talking, when they are doing consultations and probably giving some prophecies to their fellow housemates, I have goosebumps all over my body. I am literally shaking sometimes because it's also intense. Like you can literally feel the tension from your screen to where you are, you know. So there I'm asking myself that is the Nigerian audience ready to accept this kind of intensity with spirituality? Yeah. Yeah. So guys, for me, it's very, very intense. But one thing I actually admire about these two housemates, that's Dinky and Mpho, is the fact that they are not really ashamed of who they really are. And it's also interesting that the rest of the housemates, they are used to such, yes, and so they are not really frowning on, who these fellow housemates are. Moving on, guys, let's talk about the the games. Or before we go to the games, let's talk about um, let's see, there's actually a lot on my paper. I'm actually thinking of which one to focus on. Okay, let's talk about the biggie, the big brother himself. So I've listened to the housemates have their diary session, I think twice now. And at every point in time, I'm very, very fascinated with the big brother. So I noticed that the biggie himself is very, very big. Yes, biggie is big on the sanity being intact for the housemates. So at every point in time, when he summons the housemates to the diary room, before and during their conversation, he is constantly reminding them that the diary room is open to them to express themselves, to take a breather, to clear their heads, to rid themselves of all forms of anxiety that they might be feeling whilst in the house. And if they need space and time to clear their head, they should not hesitate to come to Big Brother. Now, guys, I don't know why this is on, but then I'm thinking that could it be because of the incident that happened during the Big Brother Niger season 6, the Shine Your Eye season, where we had a housemate that suffered from serious mental health issues and was advised to take a voluntary exit out of the show. So I'm wondering, could it be that that is why they are very, very particular about the sanity of the housemate? Because of course it's expected that the house, the environment, the atmosphere will be very, very hot and thick and sometimes toxic, but overall overwhelming to all of the housemates. Because come on, it's no matter how far traveled or far read an individual could be, being in a space like Biggie's mansion with strangers, more than 5 strangers, almost 20 strangers from different walks of life, with different idiosyncrasies, with different attitudes to life, different approach to life, it could be quite challenging to survive. It could be quite challenging to even breathe. So the organizers of the show, they understand that. And so I just admire the way they constantly, via Big Brother, are encouraging the housemates to come into the diary room, to speak, to open up, to express themselves, and, to just, every time they need that space to breathe, they should just walk into the diary room, of course, ringing the bell and coming into the diary room. But there's a lot more to be said about all of those things I've observed from the show. But I think I'm just going to pause on those, major highlights, goody, goody, goody parts now. Now, moving on to the actual game, the actual show. Guys, for me to say that I am impressed is an understatement. I am blown away. I am overly impressed. And the reason I am overly impressed is because of the way these housemates are already playing their games. Guys, these housemates are brutal. They did not come to joke. They came prepared. Now, one thing I must say that I really, really love about these Bbmzansi housemates is the fact that they are not pretending that they don't have a strategy. They're not pretending, guys. I mean, they came into the show obviously ready to win 2 million rand. And so when they get into the diary room and Big Brother asks them, what is your strategy if you have one? They don't come from the angle of, I don't have any strategy. My strategy is just to be myself, which is the usual annoying, boring line that we hear from our Big Brother Naija housemates every season, from season to season. That is the only thing everybody is saying. I just came to be myself. I believe being myself is my strategy. Nothing beats being myself. Like, gosh, you people should just shut the hell up already. Because every time they keep on saying, no, I just came to be myself. By the time they leave the diary room and they go back into the mansion, you will see them playing different strategies. You will see the ones that are manipulators. You see the ones that are gossips. You see the ones that are using mental health as a weapon, as a cheap emotional blackmailing weapon, holding the mind, twisting and playing with the minds of not just their fellow housemates, but also the viewers, and they are very good at playing those cards. So there is a pattern with our amazing Big Brother Naija housemates, of course. From season to season, we see that happening all the damn time. But with these Bbmzansi housemates, guys, if there's one, like, my respect for them, it just went from 0 to 100. No, okay, it wasn't at 0 before. It was actually on 100. So it went from 100 to 1,000. Yes. I mean, for me, they have strategies. All of them, they have strategies. And they are owning up to it. And that is one thing that is making me more interested in each of their personalities. I want to see how they can fully execute their strategies. I want to see how they can fully play their game. I want to see how they can, do what they have said they have set out to do. Those plots, those plans that they have set out, put in place for their fellow housemates, I want to see how they can actually execute them and make, achieve their plans. And guys, it's quite interesting to see that the thing they say in the diary room that is their strategy, when they go back into the house, that is exactly what they are doing. Even those ones, guys, let me just mention a few. Let me not speak aloof. Let me mention a few. Take Themba, for instance. That guy is a gamer. Look at that guy. Every time he comes into the diary room, he gives Big Brother very, very detailed strategies, detailed plans that he has that he has even started executing. And it's always very intriguing. And even from Big Brother's expression from the unknown, you can see that Big Brother himself is even intrigued by the way Themba's mind works. The guy's plans are very, very fascinating, although sometimes I think they are flawed, but that is how he understands his own game, and that is exactly how he is playing his game, and it is working for him. It is working for him perfectly. Acacia, she has her own plan. Oh, get people to feel comfortable around you. Initially, she came, she was the loudest in the house for the first 2 days. Third day, she discovered that, okay, maybe I'm beginning to step on toes. And then she's now starting to act nice, warm and kind. And so people are beginning to like her personality. People are beginning to feel like, oh my God, Acacia, I used to think that she used to be very harsh, but now I can see that Acacia is very, very vulnerable. But she's actually playing a strategy that she actually informed Biggie in the diary room that, oh, this is what I'm going to play. So with regards to the housemates and their strategies, respect to all of them. They are not claiming they do not have a strategy, because there's one thing I always say on my channel, that nobody can say that, oh, they go for an examination unprepared. Yeah, but I did not prepare last night too. But one way or the other, before you go and take that examination, you must have been preparing yourself. One way or the other, you must have been preparing yourself. So nobody can come and say, oh, and you go for an exam without preparations. No. If you don't prepare, you fail. So when I think about, the difference between these Bbmzansi housemates and our Big Brother Naija housemates, the way our Big Brother Naija housemates are constantly trying to convince the entire viewing public, Biggie himself, that they never come to the show with this strategy, guys. I sigh heavily because here are people now openly, declaring their strategies. And it is what they say they are doing, that they are going to do, that they are actually doing inside the house. So I find it very, very fascinating. I find it very, very interesting. And I'm hoping that people who are thinking of, participating in Big Brother Naija season 7, if there's going to be another season, they take a cue or two from these housemates, learn to be open. And the annoying part is sometimes they think that the viewing audience are very dumb, like they don't have sense. Anyways, let me first of all go through your comments. Zim Dollar is saying Thembu is overrated. Okay. So I would love you to join this conversation and explain. All right. I'm going to share the link very soon. So I'll love you to come on and share your thoughts. Mthembu said Thembu is very smart. Yesterday he said he is intentionally drawing the boys to put their attention to the girls while he is focusing on the game. Very true, guys. The moment Thembu mentioned that during his diary session, like I was just howling in my house, like, what the hell? Pyro said, for the longest time, BBM housemates have always played their game brutally. They use other housemates very well. Yeah, and that's because it's a game, so anything is bound to happen. Memory Moyo said it takes someone smart to understand Thembu, the Terminator. Yeah. Oyeka John said, Lori, how do I watch people that from UK? Is it no, you people from UK are actually restricted from watching the show. Walter said tools is white money of Bbmzansi. Yeah, very true. I'm going to be talking about their strategies very soon on another video, because trust me, each of these housemates they come with their own specialty. Hi, Dupe is online. Dupe is asking QV quit how? Okay, so QV actually quit the show I think on Wednesday. Yeah, she said that she's suffering from anxiety and a lot of other things. So she was exhausted, she had to leave. All right. Memory Moyo is saying, Glory, personally, I think Mpho, White Money, and Pere are all practicing the same thing in different aspects. Pere used to read palms. They are all gifted in different ways. Well, probably, probably. Everybody is asking, shower hour, what is the intent? Are they considering the after show effect on these housemates? So that is one thing. You know what? Let me even start adding these people. There's someone that is going to come and explain this thing to us. So I actually asked the same question about the shower hour to someone, and the explanation I got was that in South Africa, there is a cultural, festival that happens during the year, and I don't know if it's from a certain tribe. I can't really remember. I can't put the explanation together, but the females come out with, topless, and they expose their body. So revealing of sensitive parts of the body is nothing really new in South Africa. I don't know if that is 100% true. So I'm going to leave that to people that will come and give us more, explanation to that. So let me do it this way. Let me share the link to this conversation so that those of you who have more information on the South African culture can help us with, more information about all of these things. Okay. So for those of you asking if you can watch the show on Showmax, the show is not available on Showmax. It's not available as well to Nigerians. There's a restriction on different countries because of the content of the show. All right. Okay. So I have shared the link on here. If you are South African and you want to shed more light on these different, cultural displays that we're seeing, please click on the link and let's have a conversation. So whilst we are waiting for those of you that are going to come on here and talk to us about these things, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about Mpho and Dinky's strategy. So far, I've noticed a similarity in what Dinky and Mpho are doing. So first of all, it started with Mpho. QV took a voluntary exit from the house. And then not long after, in the evening, Mpho came up with a speech. She came up with a speech, talked about how she was also leaving the show, blah, blah, blah. And then when she got the housemate where she wanted them, of course, I loved that part because when QV left, when she was announcing her exit, the housemates were very, very insensitive towards her leaving. Like they did not really take it as something serious, and so she had left. So Mpho came, she talked about, oh, she was also leaving, blah, 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 even made very, very serious pranks and threats that people that had actually consulted with her, they were going to be disqualified from the show. And then she broke the news that she wasn't actually going anywhere. Now, I found that quite interesting, but towards the end, she made a statement that, oh, she actually just needed a hug. So I asked myself, could it be that this person is actually an attention seeker? So I tried to hold that thought. And then later, I started putting more eyes on Mpho in the house, checking out our activities, listening to more of our conversations. And I realized that this woman, in as much as she is who she is, beautiful, sweet, gentle speaking, it could be that this is also one of our strategies. Yeah, it could be one of our strategies to use her story, her narrative of, oh, people do not like me, people think I am a witch, people think I am this. I feel like she's now using that to play on the emotions of the housemates. Because of course, South Africa is a very, very diverse country. The environment, everything is very, very diverse. So people might not like certain things, but they try as much as possible not to be labeled as, you are this, you don't like this group of people, you don't like that group of people. Everybody wants to give off the air of, accommodation. They're very, very accommodating and all of that. So the housemates in the house, obviously, they do not want to give off the air of being selective with people that they relate with in the house, because of course it's a game and they are fully aware that whatever they do, it's going to affect the decisions of the viewing audience, who will of course vote at the end of the day. And aside that, before the voting system gets out of the house, it begins with the nomination. So they don't want to step on toes. So I discovered that what Mpho is doing, she is basically constantly playing with the emotions of her fellow housemates, more like emotional blackmail. You do something and then you allow people to go and fight your battle for you. And guys, I found that very, very low and cheap. But at the end of the day, it's a game, right? People would use whatever tactics they have to make sure that they stay to the end of the game and possibly win that 2 million rand. Now, for Dinky Bliss, I feel like Dinky Bliss has noticed what Mpho is playing at. I feel like she has actually studied Mpho's tactics and has noticed what Mpho is doing. And so, to play the game as well, she's now coming up with the story of she also has a gift, the Sangoma gift, which I find very, very interesting, because how come from the beginning of the show, we did not hear you talking about you having that gift? And then all of a sudden, you're sharing stories to the female housemates that you have the Sangoma gift as well, that you are suppressing your own gifts. And then, guys, I'm sorry to say, I don't want to come across as being very, very insensitive, but I find it quite unbelievable that Dinky, acting all bipolar-ish and all of that, 1 minute she's nice, the next minute she's lashing out at people, the next minute she's being very, very rude. I find this very, very manipulative, that she's blaming it all on the ancestor that is inside her. According to how she put it, that the family ancestor is inside her and is trying to force its way out, to express its gifts, its presence. And so when she's rude to people, when she's lashing out at people, when she's acting and causing problems here and there, it is actually the Sangoma spirit that is inside her that is making all the problem. Like, there are certain explanations you hear and you feel like you are losing your sanity. That was the way I felt yesterday when Dinky was explaining that to some of the female housemates. I don't know, but let me add these people and see. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Glory.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Walter.
Good morning
Hi,
or
Walter.
good afternoon. Yeah, I think good afternoon your time.
Is it
Hi.
morning or afternoon? Which one is it?
Yeah, anyone. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I see about this.
It doesn't.
Can you hear me? Hello.
We can't hear you, Walter.
Can you hear
Your
me?
internet. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I said it's really interesting, like trying to understand because this is a different culture, like you said, culture shock. Trying to understand there's Zulu, there's what other culture, different kind of people in the house, and trying to see there are a lot of sheeps already. I'm seeing already, there are like 4 or 5 sheeps I can see in the house. Eddie, hello.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, let me
The
move to my. Let
connection
me move.
is
Let me change where I am in the house. I think move to somewhere. Can you hear me
the
now?
network connection is quite unstable.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a challenge. Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? I think it's better now.
Hold on, Walter. Hold on.
Okay, let me meet.
Hold on. Hello, Walter. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. The network was
No,
just
that's fine.
playing.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Can
So
you hear
please
me
go
now?
ahead with your analysis.
So I said, interesting that I haven't watched this thing for like, hours and all that, but it's interesting to have seen that we have ships now. I've seen potential ships in the house. That's what I've. So, like you said about, like, oh my God, network. Can you hear me now? Can I go on?
Yes, please go on. Go on.
Okay. So, because I know you keep breaking your movements. So I see Sis Tamara and Terry is one. It's not really a ship, they are sister ships, sisters.
It's a
I'll put them
sisterhood.
as
It's a
sisterhood.
sisterhood.
Then the one I saw today, I confirmed that it started brewing. Acacia is weird. I don't know how they clicked Acacia, and I think I sent it to you on Instagram. Acacia and what's his name?
Temba.
Temba. In
Temba.
fact, they really, in fact, when I say they sealed their relationship today, I watched it this morning, my time. Literally, Temba and Acacia were talking about how they met on some. Oh no, that they really not really talking about each other, touching. It was really deep conversation. Now I watched this one this morning, like whoa! I was like, I in my wildest dream, I won't imagine that Acacia, because when she came in with that kind of vibe, I was thinking she's one of those gonna be snobby girls, like, oh no, you're not my type, blah blah blah. So like maybe a Maria kind of thingy. That's why I
Yeah.
found Acacia. But man, it's interesting. The person I like among all of them that is really mature, I think Yoli. I like Yoli a lot. Yoli is trying to play the safe game. Oh, I apologize, confront, blah, blah, blah. Then I don't like Dinky and then what's the other one? The people that caused the whole route. Dinky and Nale. In fact,
Is it Nale?
I felt for Nale. Oh my God. In fact, like you said,
No, I felt for Nale. Nale was used. Nale
mind
was
your
used,
mind
and
your
a trap was
business.
set
You got it spot on.
very
next time,
woefully.
next time, mind your business. That's what. Okay, this. Yeah,
Exactly. Mind your business.
seriously. I think you have a guest.
But really, oh yes. Hi, Brian.
Hello, hi, Gloria.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm very well today. How are you
Please
doing?
tell me you're from South Africa.
Which part about South Africa? Let's get specific.
Okay, it doesn't matter whichever part you're from. I love the video from South Africa. You're welcome. So we have a lot of questions, right? We are Nigerians. We are interested in the show. Yeah, we love what we're seeing already. I personally, I love the cultural display, the dynamics. I love the fact that the individuals selected for the show, they are not ashamed of who they are, what they represent, and what stand for. That is one thing I really admire, right? For people to choose to want to participate on a show like Bbmzansi, they must have thought about it over and over again. They must have, made a resolution that to win that 2 million, this is what I will do to earn that money, to win that money. However, things that are coming into play as the day goes by, in fact, minute by minute, that are very, very fascinating. And I, for one, I don't really like assumption. I always like first-hand information. So the first question that we would love for you to, answer for us is the conversation about the stag woman. Please, can you shed more light on it? Because someone commented yesterday. I don't know. Are you the Brian that I sent an email?
I'm the Brian that you sent an email to.
Oh, great. Great. Yes. I am happy. Yes. I saw your comment, and that was an entirely different perspective from most of the, responses I had been getting, the feedback. And I like it when people think outside the box, people giving different opinions, but I love different perspectives. So can you shed more light on that, that
particular
machine? Yes, please.
Firstly, I would say, Gloria, they say Big Brother is a game of, what do they call it? Social experiment, right? It's a game of personalities. Everybody enters into the house with their own strategy, with their own mentality. This is how they'll exist in an environment where there are many other people in competition or many other people competing for the same prize.
Yeah.
In an environment like that, everything is amplified. If I'm a selfish person, it'll even be even more visible. True. If I'm a manipulative person, it'll be even more visible. I think my own view and my own perception and how I see Mpho Wabadimo, this whole Sangoma thing is just a strategy, and that's it. Strategy in the sense that it takes away, you see, when you say you are a Sangoma, you have a spirit that is indwelling, or whatever that spirit can be. It takes away your own accountability. So I fight with Glory today, and I call Glory by a negative word, and then I come back to Glory and I say, no, it is a grandfather who's within me, who made me to say such and such a thing to Glory,
Same thing Dinky is actually playing at already. Same thing.
Yeah, trying to tell them, don't worry, when I'm in my space, just give me 5 minutes. No, you can't impose people. I don't know. Let me allow you to continue talking there. I'm not South African.
Yes, so Brian.
So in other words, I'm just clarifying this whole Sangoma. It's just as if I'll put it in a different way. Sangoma is obviously traditional religion. I'll put it in a different way. If I come to you and I say, I'm a prophet, and I say, there's something which is called suggestive communication. Okay. What does that mean? If I listen to you, my brother here, if I listen to you for 5 minutes, I can pick up a lot of things about you in that 5 minutes. True. And then the next thing, let's say you come to me, I say I'm a prophet, and you say to me, I've lost a lot of money to people, I'm always disappointed. The best thing I can say to manipulate you is to say that there's something special about you, one. People are fighting you because there's something special about you. In order for you to protect that thing, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But all of those things, in doing that, I'm taking away your own intuition. I'm taking away your own ability to think, because I'm playing along the thinking that you would be most pleasing to your ego. So there's a lot of dynamics when it comes to this kind of a thing. And as much as not everybody who says they are a pastor is a pastor, not everybody who says they are a Sangoma is a Sangoma.
So let me ask you this, and frankly, I quite agree with you on that, because We have a lot of such in Africa. I don't know about outside Africa, of course, but we have a lot of that. Let me use Nigeria, for example. We have a lot of charlatans like that. They call themselves seers, prophets
True.
of God. Yes.
100%.
And they come with this aura and presence. When you encounter them, you tremble. And so whatever they say, it's like hypnosis. Whatever they say, you tend to believe. And I've noticed that with Mpho. There's a way she carries herself in the house. She does not talk too much. But when she opens her mouth, everybody wants to pay attention. Why? The Sangoma wants to speak. But now let's talk about Dinky. Dinky never gave any information about having any spiritual gift. But 100%. Then, just a few days ago, right after that confrontation she had with Mpho and Nale, she started spreading the story, planting in the heads of the female housemates. She's not going to the male housemates now because she knows that those ones, they are not even interested. Now she's planting in the heads of the females that, oh, she actually has the gift. The family rejected it. And now, and the word you use, accountability. It's like someone being bipolar, a narcissist. 100%. You are so mean. You are mean to people around you. You have a very, very nasty attitude. And so you are transferring the blame of your actions. You're not taking accountability or responsibility for your actions. You're blaming it on an unknown entity. Is it possible? So the question I want to ask you now is it a character trait of Sangoma to be bipolar?
In the comment that I'd written on your page, I said that there's a very strong relationship between issues of mental health and people who end up being called Sangomas. And you would understand why.
Okay.
It deals with, as I said, deals with accountability. If you can't be accountable first for your own actions, the easiest way to get away with it is there's a personality that comes over me and makes me to do things. And I said, amongst the younger generation, the current generation, there are influencers which are Sangomas, there are TV celebrities which are Sangomas in this country. It's become a very popular thing. But if you look at, I'll use two words. Wherever you hear the word initiation, you will also find recruitment. Because in order to be initiated, you must be recruited. So it creates a sort of a way out of things, but at the same time, removing accountability from you. Most people who find themselves being, I do understand that there could be something called mental health issues, which are medically related. I do get that. But majority of times, it has to do with trauma. You've been through something. Something happened to you. You didn't deal with it appropriately, or you made them. Oh, there's regret, there's resentment, there's regret, and you've not dealt with it properly. You've not taken accountability for what you've done and corrected yourself. It keeps repeating itself in your mind until it becomes a mental block in your own mind. And then you can easily be diagnosed with mental health issues. And it's interesting that in most cases, the remedy for mental health is to go and see a psychiatrist, someone that you'll have a conversation as we are having a conversation. There's no magical tablet that you take to resolve some of these things which we call mental health issues. And to get back to that, most people would rather make decisions that take them to a position where they end up visiting perhaps a Sangoma to seek advice. I've got problems. Let's say my boyfriends keep breaking up with me. Oh, I've been in 2 marriages. Nobody will look into the character of a person to say, what contributions could you have done to get yourself there? The easiest thing to say is, oh, no, I understand. No, what you are going through is a cycle. There's probably, you are supposed to be a Sangoma. There's a grandfather that's supposed to enter you. You are supposed to be a Sangoma. And it's funny because it's always either a grandfather or a grandmother. I was speaking to somebody and I was saying, where are the uncles? Why is it not a spirit of an uncle? Why is it always a grandfather?
I don't know. You see, and I love the way this conversation is very, because it just completely giving me flashbacks of a lot of things that's in the house. Now, I will presume, being a Nigerian here, I will presume that one who is a spiritual bridge between the living and their ancestral abode, I should maintain some level of, should I say decorum?
Decorum, yes.
I should say moderacy, right? So in the house, from time to time, especially the shower hour, I intentionally watch the shower hour because, of course, a lot of things happen there. And I noticed, I mentioned that on my video, that Mpho is that one housemate, Mpho and Dinky, emphasis on those two sangomas. They spend so much time in the shower. I just learned of research that water is scarce in that house. So what happens is Big Brother rations the water. So that's part of the reason why they have shower hour, so everybody can have water. These people, they literally use the bulk of the water provision for the rest of the house, and they spend longer hours or longer time in the shower. And when they are having their bath, these people know where the cameras are. And so they are turning and flashing and saying, take it all, viewers, take it all in. They are giving us everything on a platter.
It's an exhibition.
You know, and so I'm wondering, like, if you are a sangoma, at least, you know,
where's the decorum? You know,
decorum. You know, manage the nakedness. I mean, this is only a few days. There's still like 9 more weeks to go. Give it to us little in pinches of salt. You know, so the question now is, these sangomas, because from what you said, celebrities, influencers, they all now are sangomas. What is it? Is it a joke? Is it an avenue for beautiful women to, flaunt their bodies? What is it exactly?
You know, in life, there are certain people who love attention more than what would be normal. For anybody to be called a gifted person, you're going to get a lot of attention.
Of course.
When you speak, people will listen to you. So a lot of people use that to leverage. You know, you will be listened to. For example, let's look at today. They're preparing for the evening party.
Yeah.
Mpho is wearing her sangoma garment. It cannot be.
I was so shocked when they opened the storeroom, when Big Brother said the storeroom is now open. You know, normally in Big Brother Nigeria, they put everybody's name. So I'm seeing a lot. I will go up to that. I know, Gloria, I don't want to take over your show, but I know you have your things listed. You're talking about this sangoma.
No, go ahead.
Because I watched this morning, my time. Anyways, I'm 7 hours behind. So I was just watching because I was watching it live. That's all. Normally in Big Brother, you know when they call Big Brother, the storeroom is now open. Then you see everybody's name. Maybe in Mpho, but this one, all the outfits, the sangoma, whatever accessory, everything, they have to just start picking. And I know, I watch closely. I don't know that Mpho or Dinky, they didn't really come out, but I remember the letter came out because ladies now, I want to wear this is my size and all this. So I was watching close, hoping that will not cause another issue about, you took something that does not belong to you, because there was no name tag on any of the outfits. So just
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's you just put on whatever you feel. So I don't know why they did that way. Maybe it's for a reason. Then 2, I noticed there are no much sponsors in this season. I don't know what's going on.
The show has been off for like 7 years.
Yeah, on iTunes for 7 years.
Nobody saw it.
But what I will comment, like what Glory said, the content they are giving us, I like it. They are not pretending like Nigeria. I know. I was suffering this one. Everybody just giving us mature vibe content. We are getting it from week 1. It's not like big Nigerians. They were just being like onion. 1 week, everybody was just like, so boring. And Glory, remember, you were like, what's wrong with these guys? Now 1 week, so maybe on the third week, we started seeing basketballs and all those things. But your South African Bbmzansi, this 1 week, it's a lot. I don't even know.
Really, they're actually giving us that. Let's talk about Terry, yeah? Let's talk about Terry. So someone gave me information. Obviously, the person is based in Africa. The person gave me information that what Terry is doing, the being a porn star, virtual adult entertainer, that is recognized by the government and they pay taxes. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. Okay.
The sex work, okay, adult entertainment. As I would suppose, she goes on the internet and
Yeah,
reels.
virtually.
How would you measure the income that she generates from them so as to tax?
I don't know.
So if you look at it logically, it's not true.
Okay,
Anyway,
we're learning.
That's interesting. That's
Very
really
interesting.
anyway, to steal 1 point back to Mpho again, I'm saying everything that she's doing is calculated. As she has put on this garment, the Sangoma garment, of course she's appealing to the traditionalist inclined believers by wearing this garment. You understand? So everything that she's doing is as for example, I'll make a reference to Big Brother Niger. White Money at some point was accused of appealing to the Igbo tribe.
Yeah, yeah,
Highly
yeah.
Igbo dancing. When K was it is it K Money or something? When the song comes on, the traditionalists
Yeah.
he dances a lot. He was accused of that. So I'm saying she is also doing what is calculated. Of course, it's manipulative as well, in the sense that she can say certain things as if they are coming from a certain place when they are not.
And you know
But
the funny thing, Walter, I don't know if you saw this part. There's something I noticed with the audience, with the viewing audience, especially the South African viewing audience for this show. I noticed that in as much as most South Africans, they are very, very free-spirited, very, very expressive, diverse in their thinking, in their ways of life and all. There is still that group of persons that are highly spiritual. They fear and revere the spiritual entity, the deity. The moment, because I've been following social media reaction, like seriously following social media reaction, and I've noticed that there is constantly that group of persons that hold Mpho on a high pedestal.
it's true.
Whenever she even complains of the energy, you see all of them on Twitter, on Instagram. Oh my God, she's going through a lot. These housemates are stretching her. And I'm like, but they're all fighting for the 2 million.
You know, I was saying glory to one person. I was saying to one person, glory. In any environment that you ever find yourself in, and for you to function in that environment, you don't have to use your logic, or you need to put away your logic. You're already within a very dangerous environment.
exactly.
And let's look at Dinky. Dinky, they came, they plotted against Dinky, they sat in the lounge, they accused her. You can see that Nale is the kind of person who would think a script in her mind. I'm going to put it this way, well articulated. People, we did this and that. But when Dinky asked pointed questions, she cracked. And it even made it worse when Tato stood up and said, she's not the only one who deviated. I also deviated.
Exactly. I liked what Tato did.
I like what Tato did, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense because, okay, go on. Sorry. I don't want to.
She cracked even more. Now, the one who was using her as a face or as a front of this whole thing stands up now, the real culprit, and starts saying, no, listen, starts articulating herself. But what I found interesting is when Dinky was narrating what happened, although she was not in the meeting where they were plotting, she narrated it accurately. She said, Nale is a spokesperson. The person who was behind this was Mpho. This was a strategy. They wanted me to be depressed, and they are happy, and they...
Exactly.
In other words, I'm saying any human being can be intuitive. Every human being is intuitive. You don't have to be a Sangoma to. The way she narrated the story, it was as if she was there in that meeting. Just like Queen in Big Brother Niger. Remember when was it Nini who was hidden in a room? Remember when Queen had a dream?
Yes. That she had a dream.
So intuitive. Is she a Sangoma?
She had a dream.
But it was so intuitive. But the question is she a Sangoma? Is she a Sangoma? No.
Yeah.
Everybody has that ability to have intuition.
True.
As a human being. And when we look at intuition, the person who's demonstrated the highest level of intuition thus far is Dinky. By narrating what happened in a meeting where the plot was against her and she wasn't there.
And that is gonna. I know today is Friday. Today is Saturday. I know everybody is scared for Monday, so she's trying to make amends. So I think to me, she has that in her mind that, oh man, it's gonna be Monday, and they're gonna Dinky is gonna be on the list. Trust me, they're gonna kick her. Everybody, I know. For the guys, I know because that's Dinky, Mpho, and all those. I'm sure the guys don't even like go. The only person I feel for, I don't know, like you said, she or he has found a calling. Sister Mara, she has found that. Because I think sisterhood. I think that's where the game is now, because of course Terry got. We don't know what, like you said, this Big Brother. They might go into Big Brother's their room now and say, oh, Terry might even vote Sister Mara, like, I'm tired of this lady. Don't be shocked that if I put her up for a fiction.
Yeah.
So that's
no, but the thing about the game is one person left abruptly. They might have to replace that person and bring another housemate. And a time will come where the housemates will need to start forming alliances. Exactly. So yesterday, Tools and Nale, they were having a conversation in the head about plans. Of course, there's no relationship that will happen between both of them as the weekend and Nale did. But then Tools mentioned something that he does not want there to be any awkwardness between both of them when he starts, having interest in other women to smash in the house. However, a time will come when they will need to form an alliance. And both of them agreed on that, right? Both of them agreed on that. Now, you see Acacia has noticed that she has stepped on a lot of toes in just a few days. And now she noticed that, what's his name? Themba is not the only person that the guys actually respect. So that thing you see as a ship, it is an alliance. Both of them, they are using each other. It's an alliance. They're using each other. They know what they are doing. What's her name? Tato is literally thinking that Tools has a crush on her, which is quite funny because Tools does not even look at her side.
And this guy reminds me of Nini, and I don't know if it's going to be like a Nini and Saga kind of thing, but we don't know. It's week 1. Let's see how things unfold.
Yeah. But another very interesting person in the house that I noticed properly today is BU. So the conversation he was having with Nale, it just goes to show how deeply rooted that guy is.
Okay, I didn't watch.
That guy is a potential sangoma as well, but he's not just saying anything.
Nothing.
Brian, I don't know if you noticed
it. You're speaking about BU.
Yes, BU.
BU seems to be a bit awkward.
Yeah?
I have a full house. Oh, come and say hello to my friend.
Sorry. Mickey.
Glory, says this Bbmzansi.
Hi. Okay. Oh, wow. It's a full house.
You say Big Brother mansion. Come. What's his name? Do you have your own Big Brother show going on? This one that little.
Mickey has another biggest house in his house. Mickey.
Hi. Yes.
Mickey, you're surrounded by beautiful women. Look at you.
She's a fan of Big Brother and Mzansi. I'm sure she has a lot to say about the show.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Hi.
No, you don't have a lot to say.
You do. Please take a seat and join us, okay? Take a seat and join us. Yeah, Brian was explaining something. Brian, please go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll come back. Let me go think. I'll come back.
Okay. All right, Brian.
BU is a bit of an enigma, right? He's said to be Zulu.
Oh, Zulu.
He's not said a word of
Zulu. Because I've heard the housemates explain the two different major groups, in the house. There's the Zulu tribe. What's the other tribe? I can't remember.
Zulu.
Kosa. There's Kosa.
There's Tswana.
Wani.
So sorry, Brian, because you are very, very informed about all those cultural diversities. What is the difference? Because if you look at the way Libu, he carries himself proudly, the way what's his name, BU carries himself, the way Norman, you can tell that these people are representing different tribes in all of it.
Venus is Zulu. Igbo, if I can explain Zulu in the manner that they behave more like Igbos. Zulu.
Oh, okay.
very proud of their tradition.
Yeah.
They're the Mzansi tribe in South Africa, very proud of their tradition. And now the thing with BU has never spoken a word in Zulu, right? And he's a bit of an enigma. He seems to be very much into meditation and that kind of thing.
Yoga, spirituality.
Yeah, it was actually funny to see that Yoli now also went into her room. I think she wanted to strike up a conversation with him. As you can see, there's a ship forming there, and he was doing that yoga while they're having a full-on conversation. Themba and Acacia and them. So she also did her own yoga. So that was very, very so as I said, BU is a bit of an enigma. Most of the female viewers will like him because of the way he looks, but he's a bit of an enigma. The person that I find to be very intelligent is Themba. Why?
I think he is the smartest.
Correct. That's
housemate that came with a plan. He came with a well-structured plan.
Yeah.
Themba, I find to be very intelligent. What makes him even more appealing is the fact that there's nothing that he's spoken about himself that he doesn't act out,
Yeah.
When the whole came with the Sobi stories of their past, he decided not to do that. And you might find his story is sobier than all the other stories, but he decided not to do that. So he seems to be confident in his own character to carry him through. We've not seen any manipulation and that kind of a thing coming from him. Dinky, I also think is very intelligent. But there's a small issue of self-confidence there. But I think as a person, she's very intelligent. Nale comes across as a person who rides on her facial beauty, and strength in numbers. I need to connect with that one. I need to connect with that one. And another thing that I was thinking about, in South Africa, there's such a thing as a LGBT community.
Yeah.
Anything which comes in numbers develops a community. There's now a traditionalist belief community. There's another community. So I think people are also playing their strategy along those lines. Sis Tamara obviously will want to be supported by the LGBT community. Mpho is looking out for the traditionalist community who will be proud that she's wearing her sangoma attire and that kind of thing. So the strategies are playing themselves along those lines. But if we look at
something I found very interesting. Dino is half Nigerian. Norman is also half Nigerian. I think his mom or his dad is Igbo. Now, if those two people knew the power that they have in the Nigerian system here, because of course, we have a lot of Nigerians that are fans of Big Brother, the Big Brother Nigeria, the TV Africa. If they knew the power they had, I feel like they should have been hyping up the Nigerian culture where they are from, 100%. Because they have been getting support from them. Because just like you rightly said, the Sangoma community in that house, they are seriously playing down on the emotion of that community that are watching the show.
100%.
Yeah. Sis Tamara, if you notice, anytime Sis Tamara is having a conversation with Terry, emphasis is always on how much he has been discriminated on. But if you listen to their late night conversation, you'll find out that that guy has lived life to the fullest in his journey of self-discovery. There's no type of sexual experiment that he has not practiced.
100%.
And you cannot say he was bounded by chains to go and practice them. He did them for fun and he enjoyed himself. People who practice BDSM, they are not dragged by their throats to go and do it. They feel they can handle pain and pleasure in sex, so they go ahead and do it. People who practice voyeurism, all those things, they are seeking a certain level of pleasure. People who practice bukkake, as they explained, exhibitionism, they are seeking a certain kind of pleasure. And he said it himself that all of the things that he's doing, he is seeking his true identity. So there are times when his real person comes out, and there are other times because he loves attention, he brings out Sister Tamara. So whenever he's having those late night conversations, you can tell that he's very intentional
It's
about the
calculated.
group of people he is sending that message to. And those people are
100%.
seriously supporting him on social media because they want to be
100%.
heard. So I find it very, very, should I say, admirable, because for me, that is a game plan. When Big
It's a
Brother
strategy.
asks him, what is your strategy? And he's constantly saying, my strategy is just to be my full self in all of my glory. It's a message, I'm proudly a gender non-conforming, and there are millions of people out there in South Africa that are just like me, even around Africa, that must have been discriminated against. So I am standing here, I am representing that minority group. And those people are heavily supporting. So, as I said before, I admire the way the housemates are playing their game. Some of them are heavily manipulative, but the beauty is they are owning up to their manipulation, their tricks, their plans, and they are living according to it. They are doing it exactly the way they are saying that they will do it. Yeah. But then another question though that I wanted to ask you, this one now is with regards to who is this person? I'm trying to remember the name of that particular housemate. Whoosh. Oh, Nale. Yes, Nale. So, Nale comes with the air of class, grace. I will not allow anybody to rain on my parade and all of that. Now, could it be possible that Nale is not truly who she portrays herself to be?
I would compare Nale to Nengi.
I get the picture. I get the picture. Okay.
It's interesting when they're having intellectual conversations out in the garden, the smokers. Have you seen how silent she becomes?
And then she asks a lot of questions.
She asks a lot of questions, but she doesn't contribute much in any intellectual conversation. So, in other words, I'm saying she comes across as somebody who knows her limitation, which is a strength, right? She also knows her strength, which is her looks.
Yeah.
So, as I said, for me, I would compare her to a Nengi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Walter, what do you think? Walter, you're smiling. What do you think?
Nale is beautiful for sure. Everybody knows that. Nale, she's good. She's like, she knows her limitations. Like what Chris is that? Am I using it right? Is that his name is Chris, right? Like what Chris said.
Brian.
Yeah. Brian, sorry, mixing names up. Brian. So, Nale is trying. Like I think I will call her. She got her first shock this week. I think she's trying not to walk on eggshells because now that. And I'm happy it happened. I like her personality, what she does, and the way she communicates. And I'll be happy if she continues that friendship with Tools, because I think Tools will someone that will go find that show too. So I think but for her, I think it happened first week. I'm glad because maybe like second week. Now she knows what not to do. Mind your business for next. So she doesn't really engage in some intellectual conversation per se, but sometimes it's better safe than not being, because if you just like what happened to her, that she was trying to be the judge. Okay, let's go, let's have a discussion, and she had good intentions, but that like it was the other way around. And and I'm happy it happened on Thursday, or when did this happen? Thursday or Wednesday night? I can't remember.
It was Thursday night after they lost their way.
And sorry, how party happens. Let's say for example, people fight on Wednesday. Party can change a lot of things, can affect Sunday. You know how people will get drunk. So I want to see how this party what's the impact. I'm going to see a lot of things that will happen with the party, because people are going to dance with. Then we'll start knowing who likes who. Then Sunday will come. Then people will start having a rethink. Oh yeah, we call it. Don't worry, it's a new week. So, like right this ago, don't be surprised that even when what Mpho or Dinky, when they put nomination money, they don't even put Nale's name, because I don't know what will happen today. let's just see what happens. That's the only thing. I can't say anything. I know things that happened already with a lot of discussion. Like the guys, it's kind of, I don't even know. But apart from the only standout guy, like you say, is Themba. Yeah, we know he's high class with his I think he's good with all the ladies. He's not doing too much, which is good. He's just giving, and that's the best thing for the first week. Not because now no Gashwan is a bad guy too. Please, that guy is quiet, but
he's the instigator. He never follows through with anything he says.
Those are kind of people. He's like I'm liking him to, let's say, what's the name of this guy in DB Niger? With Maria, what's his name?
With Maria, Terry.
A bit quiet, might be bad. We don't know, but
the bad boy vibe.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But Themba is just spot on. It's just not giving too much. Everybody's cool with him, but you never know. It can be a negative impact on him. I don't know how the nomination.
But I have a question. And hey guys, those of you watching this show, please don't feel left out of the conversation. Walter here is Nigerian based abroad. Brian here is African based in South Africa, I think. And these are people that are watching the show from different perspectives as well. So I'm sure those of you on here, you also have your different perspectives to share. So I've dropped the link in the comment section. Please feel free to click on those links and come on here. Let's have a virtual conversation. Now, moving on, I have a question to everybody. Look at the bromance that is brewing in that house. I enjoy it. I love the so-called men's conference. I love the way they are bonding, the way they are having fun, the way they are plotting on how to, get laid in the house. But then, listen to I don't know if you heard what Themba said yesterday in the diary room, that he brought up that idea that how can the guys be in the same mansion with beautiful women and then none of them has the potential of getting laid? And automatically they created the men's conference. And then he started instigating and giving them tips and tricks on how to get the women under their thumb, and it's working. Now look at the men's conference. When they're having conversation, you see how slow and sly and slick Themba is when he is giving ideas, putting things. So the question is, do you guys think the men are aware of what is going on, or do you think they're also just riding, with their own strategy?
The funny thing about Themba physically does not have the biggest body. He's not a very physical person. And if you look at his tats, you might even have different opinion about him.
Yeah.
But he's capable of saying something, and that thing makes so much sense that everybody has no choice but to go with the thing. Like in Ozo, in Big Brother Niger, like in Ozo. He knows that is his strength, and he knows that he can use that strength, and he knows that he can rely on the strength of his character and his brain, and that's exactly what he's doing. There was a time when he had an argument, I think when they were still feeling each other out, they had an argument with Norman. I think it was about EFC and boxers, who's the strongest boxer. Is Mayweather.
They also argued about, he also argued with, what's the person's name? Gashwan, about body, soul, and spirit.
But did you see? But did you see how he dissembled them and brought them down to ground level?
Sorry, Gloria, I have to pick a call. Join back.
Okay.
Norman was not happy with that at all, but I think it set the tone, to say, listen, I'm the alpha.
Yeah.
This is not about gym. This is about expressing yourself and using your mental prowesses. And it set the tone. Gash had a problem with it initially, but I don't think they're on the same level in terms of intellectual capacity, the two of them.
Yeah. But still, when the male housemate, when I saw the full male housemate, I thought that Two was going to be the one controlling the pack. But now, somebody mentioned in the comment section that Two is giving off the vibe of white money. And I agree 100%. Because white money was Big Brother Niger the last season. White money was literally being nice to everybody, cooking, cleaning the kitchen. And the fastest way to a big brother, Bibi Naija or Nzambi, a big brother housemate heart is their belly. They are sitting down, they are chilling, and you come to them, oh, do you need water? And they say, oh, thank you, you're so thoughtful. Tools is literally playing on that. But do you think that can last for long? I am feeling like he has shed off his layer of being an alpha male to the point of, being very, very kind of submissive in a way for a man of that status, that caliber, and I feel like very soon the housemates, because the housemates are very smart, I feel like very soon they're beginning to start to see through all of that. He's naturally a gentleman. I feel like he's naturally a gentleman. But for the sake of the game, I'm afraid for him.
You see, in South Africa, there's a way that people who come from a privileged background would speak, with like a nasal tone. You speak your English with a nasal tone, as Nale is doing, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily translate to intelligence, right? If you look at Themba speaks with his own accent. He doesn't speak with that nasal.
The gag is Themba did not finish school, so he is more like an illiterate in the midst of the rest of the guys.
But he is sounding more intelligent than all of them.
Yeah.
When it comes to we're speaking about not Themba, tools. I think when Nale disappointed him, Nale said she's got a boyfriend. Am I correct? I think that also worked. I think that also worked on his self-esteem a bit. I think when he entered into the house, he seemed to be elevated. Some people say because of his voice, they love the way his voice sounds. He was elevated by a lot of people, but I think his confidence was deflated when Nale. It was only a natural thing that Nale would be with him, and they were exchanging cases in the kitchen. When things did not go his way, I think it bruised his ego, and it's starting to show.
Because I was one of those people that was literally hoping that something could happen between him and Nale. Even Dinky said it during the diary session that, oh yes, she's hoping something will happen between both of them. But when you look at those two people, you know that there's something called pride between both of them. Their egos are at play. Nale knows that she's beautiful. She knows that she's the catch. She knows that she's the most, in terms of physique, like height, not accent, she's the most outstanding female in the house. She knows that, and she's riding on that grace that she feels she carries. And so the housemates probably felt like, okay, it's natural that the two, finest people in the house, male, female, will come together and start up a relationship. But then I feel like she's very much attracted to two. She has actually said it that she's sapiosexual. She's attracted to his mind. But to bust people's expectations, to bust that bubble, she's not doing what people are expecting. So I feel like she's not totally, shying away from the possibility of being an item with two. She's only just tagging him along. Like, we can be friends, but we cannot date. So tools now like a dog. I'm sorry, like an Ozo and Nengi situation. There is hope. So I'm not going to smash any other girl in the house because there is potential that I could hit something from Nale. So let me just follow her, And I feel like it's working for her because now BU is expressing his interest in her. And because he knows that she's sapiosexual, all those powerful readings and things he said from his yogi master, from the books he read, Sex and God, it has stimulated her mind. She's now very, very curious as to who BU truly is.
True.
And BU, I feel like BU has really, really got Nale where he wants her to be because now he has taken out time to study and okay, this girl likes guys that speak intelligently, and he's highly intelligent. If you listen to Tools and BU speak, you know that BU is more intelligent than Tools. BU just doesn't speak much.
I agree.
Yeah. So now he said a whole lot to Nale this morning, and even when she was talking about her boyfriend, oh, my boyfriend is this, he was even encouraging her, but in the process telling her that I heard you look at me when you're talking about the kind of guy you like. I am much interested in that. Can you explain more? And it was very, even me that was watching it, it was sensually stimulating to the brain, you know. So it made her feel wanted. And she opened up and she said more, you know. So now I'm feeling like, Nale just might have put herself in B's trap. Because now, if you look at it, if B starts showing interest in other females in the house, Nale might start getting jealous.
Maybe that's why BU stopped showing interest in what's her name, Yolanda.
Yeah, like you told her off this morning.
She was very heartbroken about that. Yeah. So basically, part of it has to do with that. But if you look at it, if you look at BB Niger, for example, Nengi right now was the most beautiful in that season. Who is she closer to? It's Lakon.
Yeah,
Lakon is an intellectual. It's not. There's not much to see in Lakon, but now he's an intellectual, and that's what attracts Nengi to Lakon. So it's similar. I think it's similar vibes. I think it's similar vibes.
Yeah. I totally agree. One more time, guys, if you are watching this conversation right now and you are enjoying it, feel free to click on the link that I have shared, all right, and join the conversation, okay? We're not just having just a one-on-one conversation. Anybody can join this conversation with us. So, Brian, if you don't mind, let me just quickly go over a few of the comments, okay? So, Nzwadile said, who said it's a crime? It's just annoying. Let them be. They don't need to live under anyone's shadow. Okay, I'm going to try to find out what you are referring to. So there is the conspirator said there's no versatility in the strategy of the past Bbmzansi winners. So somebody actually dropped a comment that read that Themba is actually playing a script of an old BBM winner. Is it Kazi or Kazi? Yeah, that Bbmzansi viewers actually like that. Can you recall what?
I'm not familiar with it. The last one.
Okay, I'm not familiar either. Anyway, so it doesn't look as if we're only dwelling on the sangomas and the lovers in the house. Let's talk about Terry's personality. Terry is very, very out there. She's very, very loud. But the question is, people with such personalities, do they last on reality TV shows like that in South Africa? Do they last? Do they stay till the end?
I'll speak of Terry according as I view her according to the show. Yes, she's loud. Yes, she's very out there. But I think she's also a little bit on the shallow side. She's a little bit on the shallow side. I hate to keep going back to the argument, but did you see when she had an engagement with Dinky in the wardrobe room, and they were discussing and how Dinky just swept her aside? She doesn't carry much. She's more of like for me, she's more of like an echo. You know, she listens to the direction that things are going, and she plays along that direction as well. But she hasn't really revealed who her true self is. And of course, males will be fascinated with the adult content aspect of it. As if you listen to her, she's always talking about sex and sex and sex and sex and sex. But we haven't really seen who she is. You know, she hasn't really projected her true persona so that we know this is how she is. This is how she behaves. Yeah. For me, for now, she's a bit on the shallow side. I think her draw card is sex, adult content, and that's it.
And you're right, because I fear for Terry a great deal. I fear for her because I listened to a first diary session, and when Big Brother asked her about her strategy, she said her strategy was to Big Brother asked her what gave her anxiety in the house. And she said it was the prospect of the housemate taking her happiness and joy as being childish. So what she's trying to work on now in the house is to make people comfortable around her and to prove to people that she's mature. And one question I asked myself is, on the show that you came to win 2 million and you're competing with so many people, you only came to come and prove that you're not a child? You know? So for me, I found that very, very dangerous, because there are people with bigger plans, people with bigger thought process, you know. And as you rightly said, whenever she's having a conversation, of course, it comes across as though the only thing she knows is sex and adult content creation, you know, and it's very, very hard to find that in intellectual conversations. She literally shies away from those kind of conversations, and then she goes ahead to kind of hide in the company of Sister Tamara, you know, where both of them can talk about relatable things, what they can relate.
Their worlds are interlinked.
Exactly. Like you can blend together with the kind of conversations that they have. And at night, both of them have literally elected themselves as the adult entertainers in the night. And I feel like that's also strategic because they recognize that there is a certain audience that waits for the midnight conversation because they know it's going to be raunchy. It's going to be, you know, very, very stimulating in the mind. So I feel like that is also another kind of strategy for her. But the question is it going to last? Will it work? Will it last? Yeah.
I don't think so. Another thing that I also found interesting, you made mention of Acacia. Was it an argument
Acacia?
Is it Acacia? Acacia and Tato, where Tato came to apologize to Acacia.
Oh yeah.
And Acacia acted as if she's oblivious of what would be the problem. Acacia is a very dangerous kind of personality, as you actually communicated also in your on your channel, because she's a kind of a person who doesn't deal with things directly. She would rather play nice with you and deal with you in another way, you know. So Acacia I also find to be quite an interesting personality.
Did you see what she did to Dinky? You know, she shares the same bed with Dinky and Themba. Now, there was Dinky, there's the Acacia, there's Themba, and then Tato is trying to join into that clique, and it's not working. And then she tried to go and, you know, Norman invited her, of course. She went to go and stay with Norman. Now, when Nale came with that conversation, I mean, as a matter of fact, Nale actually explained in his diary room what actually happened. You know, before that conversation started, there was an ad break. So nobody actually saw how the meeting started. Now, according to what Nale explained, I have to explain what Nale said before I get to Acacia so everybody will get a clear picture. Now, according to Nale, Mpho had complained, you know, and Nale was feeling all pumped up that, oh, Mpho is my very good friend. I feel connected to her spiritually. So I don't like the way she's feeling negative energy. So let us go and talk about it. According to Nale, the moment they got downstairs, you know, I think you saw the part where they were calling the rest of the housemates to come into the lounge to have that meeting. Now, Nale said that the moment they got to the lounge, she looked around her. Terry was nowhere to be found. Mpho was nowhere to be found. And Sister Tamara as well. These were the people that were saying, no, we should go and address the matter. They disappeared. Now, later, Terry was saying that, oh, she went to go and get a cup of tea or water. Mpho was saying, oh, she went to go and pick up something from the kitchen. So she said that she called, because she was at the forefront, she felt stranded that, oh my God, where are the people? So she was lost. She did not know what to say. And so she had to start talking about what she did not know about. That, oh, obviously, we lost the wager, but we feel like there are some personal issues to be attended to. So that was why Dinky started attacking her. So that was why she was saying that Mpho and Terry threw her under the bus. Because they used her to get at Dinky. Now, where did Acacia come in? Acacia obviously is not comfortable with her friendship with Dinky because she feels like Dinky is going to sabotage her game. Dinky obviously has been stepping on a lot of toes, and you know, with the history of Big Brother, if you are friends with someone that is a foe to almost everybody in the house, you become a target yourself.
Like a Lucy in Big Brother Major. Like a Lucy. Like a Lucy in Big Brother Major.
Exactly. So she was looking for a way to speak her mind to Dinky without coming across as, oh, I'm attacking someone I shared bed with. So she had to also leverage on that meeting as an opportunity to say, oh yeah, I felt like Dinky, you also changed the script. I want to understand what happened. Although it's not personal, but I want to know what happened, you know? So I agree with you. Acacia is a very, very, very dangerous person.
Very
She
dangerous.
comes off with a layer, a facade of, oh, I am very nice, I'm your good friend. If you hear me shouting, that is how I talk.
Mm.
And then when there's an opportunity,
Mm.
she says her grievances. And immediately after, you see how she ran back to Dinky, and then they're all chilled like nothing actually happened.
100%. Yeah, she's a very, very sly character, you know.
Very sly.
Very, very sly.
Very
Mm.
sly. Okay, guys.
She,
If you have
okay.
any questions, please just throw on your questions so that Brian here can help us answer, especially those of us who are actually Nigerians. Probably some things that you've noticed from the show that you don't really understand. Go ahead and ask your questions. I have asked my own questions, and Brian has really, really given clarity to those questions. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Brian, just off the books, what is the meaning of Bekele Bekele?
It's like week after week, like it's a continuous thing, you know. But
Oh,
but they say it in a hip way, you know, like week after week, I'm the man kind of thing, you know, like week after week. Beke is a week. Bekele
so
Beke,
you
week
can
after
literally
week.
allude it to anything. So it's like week after week, I'm here to win. Week after week,
Yeah,
I'm
week
here.
after week, I keep winning, I keep doing it, week after week kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, I am still. Let me share the link again. Comments probably have covered all the links that I have shared already. So let me just go ahead and share the link again. If anybody wants to join this conversation, and then so let me still read some comments. There's this one here that says Nale is strongly attracted to tools and is noticeable but still in denial. And I think she's now using Boo as a distraction. Okay, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how
It's a
that goes.
possibility.
Although I feel like Boo has touched the core into this in Nale's mind, and it will be difficult for Nale to wipe off that impression that Boo has actually created. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let me see. So someone is saying that Glory, you underestimate Terry like this. Research more on Terry as an individual. Well, sadly, I do not know these housemates individually. So it is what they show to us on the show that we can actually relate with, right?
True.
Yeah. So I don't know any of them as an individual. So Conspire is still saying that the Kazi guy strategy does not have the typical model C accent. It's super quiet but not reserved. It's more observant and only contributes to either make people laugh or plant a seed of doubt in the house. I think now I'm actually very much interested in this Kazi character. Seems to be very interesting. Okay, so Ade is saying the girls have so much ego, so many strong personalities among them. I see more quarrels and drama. So let's talk about the females in the house. So it's a natural. Okay, let me not say natural. I think it's a conventional thing when people say that when you put a bunch of ladies in one room, you will not come back and meet them vibing. When you put a bunch of guys in a room, there's a romance, forming up already. With the ladies in the Mzansi mansion,
Takes time.
what do you think? What do you think is their problem exactly? Because these people, they don't have any love amongst them at home. I feel like they are the ones that are glaringly playing the game, while the guys are subtly playing the game. What do you see, Brian?
I think women are more of emotional. They say women are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
I think they battle to hide their emotions, and I think for them it's very difficult to coexist with other ladies without showing or revealing some parts of their emotions. Of course, they're playing the game, but some parts of their emotions will be out in the open. And I don't know, women are more likely to challenge each other directly. Males would ascertain who's the alpha, who's not the alpha, quicker than women would do. And whatever the status quo is, they would go with that without having to bash each other in most cases. Let's look at, for example, in BB Niger when Prince was having a problem with also. There was a little bit of a clash, but it was quickly ironed out because one, males are more likely to know who is the alpha, who is, who should be more who should adhere to the other one quicker. That's what I think.
Okay, very interesting. So we have someone that just joined us, Deepu. Hi,
Okay.
Deepu.
Hi, Gloria. Oh my God.
I love your smile. I love your smile. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Oh my.
Okay, excited much. Where are you joining from?
I'm joining you from South Africa.
Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting.
Oh my God.
You are welcome. You are welcome. All right. So, quick question, yeah. Quick question. How are you finding the show so far after 7 long years? How are you finding the show?
I couldn't wait for this show. It's my favorite show. It's my favorite thing on TV currently. Like, I've been following all the Big Brother franchises. I've been following you all the I'm loving everything about the show.
Nice. So, who is your favorite housemate so far?
I'm kind of like torn between Gershwan and Themba. They're giving me different kind of vibes, but I like the vibes.
Okay. So that's amongst the guys, your favorite. Amongst the females, who do you think you can relate with more?
I think maybe two people. I think I love the way Dinky, it's voicing out her voice to the housemates. And I can also relate to Nale's persona, the calmness. Yes.
Okay. So of all the female housemates, yeah, do you find any of their personalities strange as a South African? Do you find any of their personalities strange?
No, I feel like they are not portraying their real selves as yet. They're still on eggshells, according to what South Africans I've experienced. I think they're just, there are a lot of things underground there.
Okay, like what? Please tell us, like what? Tell us, because we have to know the thing.
For example, the way they want to talk out issues every time they'll call meetings. Hey, I feel like this, I feel like that. No, I don't think that's the reality. That's the real how we will normally do things. No, I don't think so. And
how do typical South Africans settle issues? How do they go about issues?
Me. Okay, for me. Oh my God. Stop smiling so that I can talk.
I want to learn.
I think a typical South African will either gossip more about you than actually tell you to your face in a crowd, or they'll just face you head on, tell you the stories loud or settled. But then the fact that they will call people in a meeting and say, I feel like that, I feel like this. I think they're just trying to be diplomatic, and then they're trying to hide all the drama inside them and then portraying a different light to us, the viewers. I don't believe in those meeting. I believe they'll gossip a lot. That's how they normally do. And yeah.
I get where you're coming from. And I think it's not just South Africans, actually. I mean, I think human beings generally, if you put them in an unrestricted environment, an environment without too many rules, if you come at me, I don't mind coming at you 100. You come at me at 50, I give you 100 extra, But in the Big Brother house, they have a rule book. They have certain terms that are kicked against. Bullying, there's goading. Goading is I am teasing you negatively and it is affecting you in negative ways and you don't like it. So there's goading and then there's outright provocation, right?
Yeah.
If I attack you unprovoked or even provoked, both of us will get punished. And sometimes in an environment like the Big Brother mansion, sometimes you don't know to which extent you can behave terribly. I am already overwhelmed in a controlled environment. I have no access to the world out there. I can only see your annoying face. So you are constantly annoying me, and I just want to vent. I just want to lash out, and I slap you, or I punch you, or I make sure I beat you up. And then when I come back to my sanity, they tell you are disqualified. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get. But then I don't think that they are all, especially the ladies, they are all trying to make each and every feeling comfortable. I mean, come on, it's impossible to achieve that. You can't be feeling this every time and then you want people to brush on it to make you feel better. I mean, they're different personalities. You can't please each and every feeling you feel. They don't talk to you. They look at you this way. You make me feel like this. That's not normal now.
I can totally relate with your feeling. I mean, Brian, let me ask you, how do you feel when at every single point in time the female housemates are talking about their feelings? How do you feel?
Yeah,
I agree with her. I think it's quite awkward. It's an awkward thing, you know. It doesn't.
I mean, just take the whole feeling and throw it away. Throw the whole feeling away because I'm tired.
But it's interesting how Themba was saying that, you know, with the ladies, they need to understand that this is not their family, you know, they're not with their family.
Exactly.
It's a competition. It's a competition. Everybody wants to win.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't get the fact that it's a game. Your feelings must not be supposed. You are not supposed to feel your feelings the way it would comfort you. No, it's that thing. Use your mental to play on those feelings. Somebody it's making you comfortable. They should be constructed to make themselves comfortable with this feeling.
I actually agree with you. I totally agree with you because I feel like they, as you rightly said, they're forgetting that it's a game. And these days, I think for the past 3 days now, watching Mpho, Dinky, Nale, and Tattoo especially. Tattoo is always going around making peace with everybody. I feel like they are now begging people indirectly to like them and not nominate them. And what they are failing to understand is, listen, as long as you're going to be in that house, you must, one way or the other, be nominated at least once or twice. There is no way you will escape nomination for an entire season of the show. At least one person will nominate you. Because if you are in the show, and maybe for 2, 3, 4 weeks, nobody nominates you. The 5th week, everybody will wonder, maybe you are the one that is potentially going to win. That is when everybody will now nominate you. So what I don't understand, there's a logic that some of the big Niger housemates have used in the past. You know, they want to get nominated so that they will now understand if they are strong contenders in the house or not. They want to know if they have a huge fan base, you know, supporting them outside the house or not. But now talking about fan base, this is what I was trying to remember earlier when I lost my brain's connection. Yeah. So talking about the fan base, this is like the 6th day. I have been waiting for a South African fan base to rise up and say, hey, we are this one, team this one for Nale, we are team this one. I've not heard Jack. And I find it also very, very fascinating. So the question, let me start with you, Brian. What is the fanship culture or the stanship culture in South Africa? Is there any at all?
It's totally different to BB Niger. Totally different. Yeah.
So
in fact, it amazes us when people go out, you know, with white money. They go into rallies where they're rallying people with flags. That will never happen in South Africa. Yeah. Even though they support certain of the house, you know who you would support, but it will never reach a stage where you go out into the streets, or you go out into the streets with a banner. It's not gonna. It doesn't happen in South Africa.
Interesting.
In fact, for me, that's what I find fascinating about BB Niger. when I see
Yeah.
such things happening.
I think because the show has been so many years, and also we've been watching the actor for those studied how the effective works and everything. Just came back.
We
But
can't
then
hear you. We can hear you. Can you place your device properly? Okay. It's fluctuating.
okay.
Yeah, try and connect it.
Am I okay?
Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Please continue.
The fan base in South Africa, we might just start now, but then usually we do that. It's like a one-man show. If I like you, so, but then we don't go pay. Like, it's happening. Most of us have a lot of time to go. I think it's more of an individual. If I like you, I'll vote for you. I'll change. Vote for else just. I think fan base it's more than than more of others. But then who knows? If we came to the bank, we might advance.
Okay, so I did not hear everything you said because the audio was still fluctuating, but I think I got some of what you said, that it's an individual thing. If you like someone, you go ahead and vote for the person. Yes. And the reason I'm asking this question is because if it were Big Brother Niger, from the very first day of the launch show, people have already seen people they like, that they are attracted to their personalities, probably by the way they introduce themselves, probably by their introductory videos, and they're already doing, oh, team this, team A, team B, team D, you know. But with Bbmzansi, I saw a few tweets and posts on Instagram, Twitter. People were asking like, oh, what is this person's social media handle? Let me go and follow. And those people that tweeted that, they got a serious backlash. People literally clamped down on them that this is not Big Brother Niger. We are not creating any fan base. Leave us alone to watch the show and enjoy the show. To hell with the fan group. To hell. I mean, people were literally ranting. And I found that quite impressive because, to be very honest, I have always been of the opinion that if there's going to be a fan base, it should be a fan base or a fan group that is highly focused on enhancing the brand, growing the brand, you know, creating more awareness of the brand of the individual that they are standing, right? But it's sad that in this area where I am, the fanship culture tends to get extremely toxic.
Toxic, yeah.
It's become a war. People want bragging rights to the point that their faves now, some of their faves, they are now under so much pressure, which they unconsciously put on themselves and which the fans also put on them too, to now start lying about certain endorsement deals just to create that bragging rights for the people supporting them. You know, some of them, they live the fake life. Some of them, they just literally lie. And some of them end up running into depression, as said by some of them that have been bold enough to come out and talk about it. So it's become extremely toxic. And to be very honest, I have been enjoying the show without any fanship anywhere. I know my fame. There are certain housemates I like that I can relate with as currently, and nobody knows as usual. And there are people also that have not even said, oh, Glory, if it was Bibi Naja, my DM will be flooded. People will be sending me messages and emails, giving me reasons why I should join a fan base to support a fellow housemate. But with Bbmzansi, I have not received any of such. Instead, the kind of messages I've been receiving is, oh, Glory, are you liking the housemates so far? Nobody is asking, do you like this particular housemate? And I find it very, very satisfying because now I know I can breathe and just enjoy the show without any sentiment to anybody or anything. Okay, so moving on, someone is asking a very, very interesting question. I saw that question, that's from Dupe Omiwade. Dupe is asking, what about endorsement? So I'm sure you are aware that with the housemates from Big Brother Nigeria, I think about 4 seasons now. After the show, the housemates they become superstars. They get brand endorsements. You know, brands are riding on the traffic, on the publicity, on the controversy that they must have amassed in the house. So with Bbmzansi, or let's say with the South African society in general, is there anything like that? People go onto a reality TV show, and then the moment they come out, they become celebrities, and they are millionaires already. Is there anything like that?
I can say that it's not anyway like BB Niger. In fact, you know, with the fans, with the money cakes, after you come out of the house, you receive money cakes, and people come to you and buy you cars and that kind of thing. In South Africa, that would not happen. There would be one or two endorsements, but it is no way like the Nigerian scene. No way like the Nigerian scene. But what I might add, in South Africa, the winner gets 2 million rands. That's about 150,000 US. I don't know, the amount that was won in BB Niger, is it similar to that amount or?
That the amount for BB Niger was, I think, about 35 million in cash. And then the rest that made it 90 million was in other assets, house, the car, trips abroad. 35 million naira.
35 million naira. Oh, okay. How much is that in dollars?
I think dollars is currently 560. 560. Okay, that's in the black market. In the black market, it's about 560, if I'm not wrong. So 560 multiplied by 35. Yeah.
No, that's good. No, that's quite sizable. So in South Africa, they are competing for about 150,000 US.
Wow.
So it's less, but I don't know if there's any other endorsements besides that. So obviously,
150,000 multiplied by 560. Sorry, let me go back. 100. That is the wait. That's money. Wait, 150,000 multiplied by 560. That is 84 million naira.
Oh,
in cash.
Well, there
in
it is.
cash.
There it is.
Whoa. South Africa, I hail you people. You people outdid yourself. That is 84 million naira. That is a lot of money. With such amount of money, you can literally get at least a 4-bedroom duplex on the island of Lagos. You can confidently buy a 4-bedroom duplex with a sizable parking space, with a pool by the side, with a garden at the back. You can confidently buy that. That's huge. So that's actually bigger than the price money for Big Brother Nigeria for any of the seasons actually.
No, the amount is big, but there's no endorsements. I don't know of any endorsements, but the amount in itself is sizable.
Yeah.
I thought
I am thinking already that housemates like what's her name, Nale, is definitely going to get more endorsements. Already she's been working with brands as a model. I saw a media campaign that she did, and she's already thriving. So I'm very, very sure that after the show or whenever she comes out of the house, she's definitely going global.
It's possible.
She was talking about wanting to be an actor on Telenova series. I am sure that she's going to get those calls. Yeah. Yolanda, you're welcome.
Hello.
What's up? We've started. All those things we were talking about last week, I have been seeing them, I have been experiencing them, and I am not disappointed. I'm not let down at all. But what's your experience been like with the show? Are you having fun? Are you enjoying the show so far?
I am really enjoying the show. I won't lie. I thought it was going to be predictable because I predicted a lot of things, but they surprised me. Honestly, they surprised me. When they first entered the house, I was like, since I'm a 2000 babe, right? I was like, where's my age group? I want the girls fresh out of college, the boys fresh out of college, type of vibes. But then as I spent more time watching the housemates, it's when I realized that actually, no, they did a fantastic job in choosing the housemates. I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, 1 second. I'm reading the comments. Duka Omiwade is saying, "Oh wow, yes, that's because the money is actually huge." She's referring to the prize money. And someone said the prize money was 2 million rand even 7 years ago. Wow. So if it was 2 million rand 7 years ago, then I was actually expecting it to be topped up, maybe 2.5 or 3 million. You know, I mean. But anyway, you cannot compare the value of the money 7 years ago to now. 7 years ago, it would not be up to that 84 million or $150,000. And then, okay, someone is saying 2 million rand, a house plus a car. That is huge. And I'm sure it's not going to be a basic car or a basic house. So we're looking at the winner getting roughly about 150 million in naira, probably about $200,000.
Yeah,
That
somewhere
is
there.
huge. That is huge. Even without endorsement deal, I think that covers pretty much, all of that. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No one boy is saying 35 million naira is about 1.3 million rand. That is actually huge as well. Anyway, Yolanda, the last time you were on here, we talked about a lot of things. Yeah. Talked about the selection of the housemate, what to expect and stuff like that. Now, looking at the selection of the housemate.
I can't hear you properly.
Same here. I
Can
can't
everybody
hear
hear
you.
me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I just added Nor. Nor, maybe you can tune down one of your gadgets.
Okay, no
Someone is
problem.
saying something.
Done that already.
Okay, so Nor, what you should do for me
Hey.
is you should switch off one of your gadgets because the noise is reflecting back on the live. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Yolanda, I was asking you, the selection of the housemate. Yeah. What do you think the female housemates are actually saying?
That will want the energy now for another.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What do you think the
can you
female
please repeat?
housemates are saying now?
Hey, honestly, hey, can I be honest? The female
Think
housemates are weak.
they are
They don't have a strategy. They are very weak. I don't want to lie. The only people that I see, even though people might hate her, is Udinki. Udinki is playing a serious game. Guys, beware of Udinki, that girl Udinki. And Mpho Dimo, she's starting to irritate me now. I used to like her, but she's starting to irritate me as well because whenever something happens or whenever something transpires, it always goes back to her gift. Do you understand?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and hence why even Udinki, when I watched the fallout between Udinki and Mpho, I was really rooting for Mpho. Okay, Mpho, tell Udinki whatever has been going on, that okay, she's not cool and whatever. Like it's like she's a bully of some sort. And then it was going well until Mpho was tricked and manipulated by Udinki into feeling sorry for her by what is this thing with the topic of the gift of also having a gift and stuff like that. She completely switched the conversation. Like it was like, I don't know what happened. It's like, guys, am I the only one who's saying this? And I was like, what is going on? I thought she went to confront her. Now all of a sudden she's the one who's apologizing. Yeah, Lina lady, they were apologizing. They apologized first, I think, before Dinky even apologized. I was shocked. Dinky is very smart. And I remember she was in her diary session. Was it yesterday? I was asleep, but my mom told me, because me and my mom, we are buddies. We love the show. My mom told me, she said, Dinky knows what she's doing. In her diary session, she also said it. She's like, she's always, what is this thing? I don't know, man. She's had a lot to say, but everything that she said in that diary session is what she's actually doing. And people are sleeping on Udinki. People are sleeping on Udinki. They will wake up one day and they're in the competition.
Yes, yes. Like I completely agree with you. And to be very honest, in as much as Dinky is very loud, very imposing, she has a very, very imposing personality. If you're not careful, she's literally infringing on your personal space. And sometimes it can be very, very annoying. But she knows what she's doing. And I love the fact that people cannot really take her unawares in conversations in that house. if you're coming from this angle, she already knows where you're coming from, and then she's attacking you head on, and she's, wriggling her way out of it and moving on. However, I feel like the game of manipulation is now intensifying. The air is thick with so much intention to manipulate people. And I noticed this because, you see, the guys, they started their men's conference thingy, all about getting laid, getting the women laid and things like that. So the ladies now have noticed that, okay, we are now left to our own individual selves. They are doing, right? So what I feel the ladies are doing now is they are now using the guys, dragging the guys into their, their invisible quarrels, their invisible beef. So take for instance now, what's her name? Acacia knows quite all right that Dinky is Themba's best friend. But guess what? Today, Acacia is now officially Dinky's woman in the house. They are striking up a relationship already. So what is she doing? She's using Themba to get at Dinky. Right?
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yes,
there's something that Dinky said in her diary session. She said, I know Themba is telling me lies. I am aware. And I am also, in my part, am telling Themba lies. That's what she said. She said that a lot of, I don't know, man. There's things that Dinky says. As much as she's very manipulative and vindictive, there's things that she says that you can't help but be like, okay, this girl, what's going on? Like, as much as I don't like her for being a bully, because she's a bully in my books. She's a bully. But as much as I don't like her for being a bully, she's a smart bully. She knows what she's doing. And for Acacia, she knows that and I feel like Themba is even giving what's her name? Dinky more attention than Acacia. Whenever Themba is with Dinky, it's genuine. You can feel that thing. But with Acacia, it's like she's the one who's running after Themba. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I feel like it's like that.
Yeah, it's like that. Obviously, it's like that. See, there are so many questions or comments in the comment section. So Lowambo here is saying that I see what you mean, Yolanda. However, I would argue that those traits you are mentioning from the female household make for good content. I.e.,
they do.
No, they have content. I was literally arguing with someone that if they evict Dinky and Mpho from the show in the second or third week, the show is going to be a bit boring. Because the truth is, I feel like their manipulation, it keeps off the viewers, on our toes. It creates that suspense. We want to see if the other people being manipulated will see that, okay, this is what is truly happening. And there's another comment here. Sorry, I'm trying to get that comment out. Sorry. Okay. Someone is talking about the sponsors. Someone is saying there are sponsors for the show itself, but in terms of endorsement, we are not sure. Okay, not that one. Oh yeah, the other comment I was talking about. Someone is asking that for the lack of sponsors for the show, what will the housemates be doing? I have an answer to that question. Well, I would love to hear from you. Brian, let's hear from you first.
So can you repeat that question?
Okay, so someone is asking that for the lack of sponsors for the show, because obviously there's just Johnny Walker and there's just Little Star. Yes, so for the lack of the numerous sponsors, unlike Big Brother Nigeria, where there's an influx of sponsors. So in a day, housemates can even have like 2 tasks from 2 different sponsors, But for Bbmzansi, of course, sponsors and brands, they are being very, very careful and skeptical, in investing in a show that has been redundant for the past several years. So the question is, for the lack of sponsors, what do you think the housemates will be doing on a daily basis to spice up the show?
I think firstly, it's fortunate that the show is on Mzansi. I think it's Mzansi Magic.
Yeah, it's on 198. Then Mzansi Magic shows you the highlights and the shower hour.
I think it belongs to Mzansi Magic. So there will be opportunities, I think, on TV, that those kind of things will be there, where they can showcase whatever it is that they want to do on Mzansi Magic. Mzansi Magic does have that kind of a strategy where they support up and coming. You know, you see new personalities. So I'm thinking, at least because the show is a Mzansi magic show, there should be some opportunities there.
Oh yeah, now I see what you mean, because at every point in time, when you look at the ads, they're actually advertising new shows that are coming to air on Mzansi
Mzansi
Magic.
Magic. Yeah.
So that could be another form of sponsorship, but not actively running inside the mansion, right? Yeah. So
Yes,
Mzansi
but
Magic
there's-
is making their money
Yeah,
off the
the
house.
show belongs to Mzansi Magic.
Oh, okay, okay. Yolanda,
I
what
would
do you
think.
think? Oh, sorry, are you still talking?
No, I'm saying I
Brian?
would think that the show belongs to Mzansi Magic. So those who want to be on TV and that kind of thing, I'm sure they would be. It would be more accessible to them to appear on Mzansi Magic because they're already on Mzansi Magic production. You know, I would think.
Oh, okay, okay. Yolanda, what do you think?
I say it's all about networking and having a very good agent.
Okay.
I think when you have those two things in South Africa, as an like aspiring artist or whatever, I feel like you will go far, especially since now they'll have this platform of Big Brother. I feel like if they go behind the scenes and they talk to the right people, and they have people backing them that are actually for them and not trying to, make a quick buck out of them, who are actually for them and care for their careers, I think they can actually go far. Meaning, guys, YouTube and Instagram, those two things, or even TikTok. If you make content, using those platforms, then I think it can grow. Because some people, the Big Brother thing franchise is huge. Some people don't watch it. They don't understand it. They're like, okay, what are we watching? People are sleeping, or you know what? We don't understand what you guys are watching. But they can, what is this thing? They can enter a certain audience by engaging with followers and the public through these platforms that I just mentioned. So for me, I feel
a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. Yeah, let me ask a question. Both of you obviously have followed on the Big Brother show, different seasons. You also followed on Big Brother South Africa show. So comparing the two audiences together, yeah, which one do you think is more active? Do you think the South African audience is more involved in TV stars, just like the Nigerian audience is actually involved in Nigeria?
No, I am sorry. Oh, should I go first, please?
Anybody can go first.
I am sorry. I love Mzansi. I am a Mzansi girl. But compared to the Nigerian audience, that audience is more intense than ours. Ours is chilled, as you said before. It's all about entertainment. It's all about, oh, I like Mang Mang. Oh, I'm going to vote for them. We are not going to give our last cent to support these people. Nigerians, on the other hand, I'm sorry. You guys. You will curse each other's mothers. You will curse each other's generations. I'm sorry. And even the sponsorships, you get that people are getting 50 sponsorships and stuff. In South Africa, maybe we're gonna get 3 at most. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking, like, maybe 3. Maybe we're gonna see her or him in an advert and be like, oh, he was on Big Brother, and then it ends. But Nigerian, yeah, honestly, we like, after one, if next year there's going to be another season, after this, I feel like most of the housemates that we have, as much as they're entertaining and whatnot, they're going to be forgettable.
Wow.
They're going to be forgettable as each season commences. We're going to forget about them. There's going to be new meat where we're like, yeah, maybe we're going to reference them. Yeah, we're not going to forget about them that easily, because maybe we're going to reference, but this girl, she sounds like una lady, or this girl sounds like Mpho, like things like that. Other than that thing of buying you guys' cars and houses and land, what? No. I don't.
No, because most times, these people could actually lie just for the publicity, for the attention. Some of them could actually, because sometimes I find it unbelievable that a bunch of people in this hard economy, they come together, they put money together, then they buy land. Most of those people don't even have a house. Most of those people, they rent. they're not even landlords, things like that. But let me hear from Brian. Brian, what do you think?
I actually want to say Big Brother in Nigeria has a cult following, as she was saying. Like this thing where you have a Davido, I think he asked people for donation, and suddenly I think the money was about 5 million in rands is thrown to him by fans. It's not going to happen in South Africa.
No.
And to add to that, one thing that I found boring about South African Big Brother previously, the last one that I watched is, I hope that the dynamics don't become such that it is females versus males, in their voting. They're grouping, there's always groupings. I hope it doesn't end up becoming females versus males, because obviously it then becomes very boring,
So that is very interesting observation, because over here, it's not a gender-based voting process for the audience. It is a fan-based voting process. That is one. There is also a tribalistic voting process. Yeah. The Igbos, as you said, the Igbo viewers, when they see, if I'm not just the Igbos, but any tribe that sees their own proudly representing them in that house, you will see them amassing votes for that person. But what you just said is quite interesting that it's a gender-based voting. Why is it so? Gender-based voting process, why?
In their groupings, in every house you'll find this person groups with that person. Like you'll say, there's a Themba, there's a Dinky, there's a Thando. Yeah. That's still fine. But previously, the groupings ended up being males versus females. So what I don't like about, I do like the male conference aspect, but I hope it doesn't create that scenario or that environment where it becomes males versus females, because it becomes very predictable.
I think I would love to see that dynamic play out. Yes, because I have never experienced that before with Big Brother Nigeria. So I think I would love to see how that plays. I would want to see who the most powerful gender is, which gender will emerge, the winners over the two. Yes. I'm seeing some comments on here. Let me see. So someone is saying Dupa is saying such a major difference. I guess it's because of the cultural or ethnic setup and fancy. All of them have their benefits. Yes, I totally agree with that. Okay. So someone is asking a question. Lumaba is asking you, Brian. She said, Brian, please explain what the men's conference is in South Africa. He's very cultural intonation to that. Wait, before you answer, Lumaba, let me teach you something. Lumaba is very, very funny right now. Lumaba, I don't know why you're not coming on this slide. We're talking private. See, you see this men's conference thing, yeah? I feel like it's a manly thing, a natural manly thing. I have brothers and I have sisters. So when we are conversed in one space, it's very natural to see my brothers. They just sway away to one corner and you don't know what they're discussing. And when you walk in as a team, you're just like, what do you want? And they shush you away, And then I go to my sisters and then everybody's doing their own thing, except for the times you want to gossip. So I feel like it's a natural thing. Men easily just, attract one another. Probably because of the female gender, or it could be because of one particular goal that they are all interested in. But for this person to ask you this question, referring you to South Africa, it means there must be something. So please explain.
I think, Glory, we are days away from Valentine's Day. So this whole men's conference thing started with some males figured things like Valentine's Day were an opportunity that men would be exploited. Someone is in a relationship with you because they benefit that, and that kind of a thing. So men should come together. Men should come together and strategize to protect their integrity against being exploited. So it was called a men's conference. So, hence I say, even on social media, this whole gender thing, oh, this gender, oh, that gender, it's a South African thing that we all know.
Wow. You know what? This is so refreshing. Wow. The interesting thing that I'm just discovering is, in as much as Nigeria and South Africa is so different, we have a lot of similarities, and in as much as people look at shows like People That Nigeria as just flimsy exclusive for entertainment, I feel like there's a lot of cultural,
Similarities.
similarities, things that people can actually learn and just basically immerse themselves in and also get entertained in the process. But I think we've actually said a lot. This is well over 2 hours. And oh my God, I really appreciate you, especially Brian. You've been on this show for over 1 hour. Wow, that's a long time.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for, first of all, honoring my invitation, for replying my email, for attending to even attempting to even join. I'm really, really grateful. And I really hope to see you again next week because, people like you who are richly immersed in your own culture, you shed so much light on these things. I'm not South African, but I am enjoying, the process of learning, learning all those things from you South Africans. Yolanda, thank you so much. You tuned in last week and you are back again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate, and I really appreciate some of the things you said last week because I am obviously seeing them, and so my mind is already prepared because someone that already has that experience has shared it. So I really, really appreciate Walter. Thank you so much, Walter. Walter has to go on the call. I guess it was a long call. Mickey had too many beautiful women around him, and so he forgot to come back. Dipo, thank you so much, Dipo. It was such a refreshing moment hearing from you. Oh, she's right here. Oh my God, look at that smile. Dipo, let me add that back for your beautiful smile. Bring you so much energy to the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. Everybody, oh my God, there's still a lot to see. Definitely a lot to say, but we've actually overstayed our time. Thank you all so much. I really need to jump back, on the show and catch up with the party. I'll definitely give an update what I think about my first experience partying with the Bbmzansi Housemate. For every single person that joins this conversation, thank you so much. Loambo, I'm sad that you could not join this conversation virtually. Good man, I'm sure that you're very busy and we have unfinished business that we're going to actually attend to behind the scenes. Don't mind me, I've been very busy. Mickey, you are excused. Apologies accepted. Okay, thank you so much, Brian. Let me let you
All right,
go. Thank
thanks.
you,
Thank you.
Yolanda. I hope I see you next week, Brian.
I hope you dance. Please dance tonight. Please dance.
I will. All right, bye, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Wow. That was very, very, whew, that was very refreshing, guys. I really enjoyed the conversation. Don't mind my network connection. It was crappy at the initial stage, but thankfully, we were able to have a proper conversation, an enlightened conversation, as a matter of fact. And that is why I always look forward to our Saturday YouTube live streams. Don't forget, guys, we do this every Saturday, 3 p.m. West African time and 4 p.m. Central African time. So if you have things all planned out for your weekend, please, I beg you, kindly slot in this live stream's time into your schedule, even if it's just you joining us for maybe 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, it's all well and good. But I'll have to end this conversation here right now so that I can go ahead and catch up with the housemates. I'm tired. I'll see you guys on another episode of Ranking Spirit Glory Elijah. There's going to be a video dropping. Yes, so look forward to that, guys. If you have any comments, this live stream is going to be on my channel. Go ahead, drop up all your comments in the comment section. I'll respond to all of you. I'll try my best. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. Amazing weekend. I'm just seeing some private messages here now. Oh my God. Anyways, have an amazing weekend. Okay? Bye. Oof. looking for how to out, looking for how to come out. So the live stream has ended, guys. Don't mind me, I'm just goofing around here. Bye.